All right, thank you so much for joining us on another award-eligible edition of Lunch Out Loud Ottawa. This is number 89.
Woo!
My name is Nick Machuski.
I'm Andrew Miller.
And of course, we're the podcast that talks to the people, places, and events that make Ottawa the incredible city that it is. And boy, do we have a special show for you today. We have a live guest playing music for us today because she's also our guest in the interview. So, all right, if you would like to play, Danielle, give us our first song.
Take on the world, play all your cards. We hold our lofty goals in high regard. Oh, jump in head first, learn as you go. Pray that these seeds you sow will someday grow. 'Cause I don't think I love this anymore. No, I don't think I love you anymore. This time I can't close my eyes, I can't turn my cheek. You know that I've tried. I guess this is goodbye.
Amazing.
That was awesome.
Wow, that's like not even... Wow, that sounds perfectly like a recording.
Yeah, that was really good.
That's because that was a recording.
No, it wasn't. We have the photos to prove it was.
Yeah, we all tweeted you. You were twittered by three Twitter.
You're trending now.
So, Danielle, where can people see you? How long have you been playing in or around Ottawa?
Well, I started playing singing when I was 9, playing when I was 14.
Wow.
So playing publicly for a long time, but playing kind of under my own name. I started really professionally in 2010. So, been a few years.
Wow.
That's great.
Yeah.
And where can people see you?
Right now I have a weekly show at the Lower Town Brewery on York Street. So every Monday I'm there.
Oh, that's fun.
I love it there.
Do you work for beer there?
Among other things, like money, which is great. But
That
also
comes in
beer. My favorite place to work for food-related items is Stella Luna Gelato
Oh,
on
okay.
Main Street. So I've got a monthly show there as well, where they pay you in gelato, among other things, but mostly gelato.
That's fun.
Yes.
And that's on what day and what night is that?
It's once a month at the gelato place, and this month it's October 26th that I'm there. Yeah.
Is that what day of the week?
Sundays, because they also have, I think it's half off gelato.
That's
nights.
right. And so that's one of the busy. That's where you get the lineups at the door.
Yeah. It is the best.
It is the best, and it is voted always the best gelato in the city. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And get out there and see her at the Lower Town Brewery Monday nights.
For sure.
It's a lot of fun.
What time does that start at,
It
approximately?
starts at 9 p.m. There's actually going to be a really, really fun event this month. Dylan Black, who's a pretty prominent community leader, works in radio. He's hosting his birthday party on the 20th. So there's going to be a photo booth and mascots and magic and comedians. And
Oh, that's fun.
Possibly the best night
you playing?
of the month.
And you
And
playing as
me
well?
playing.
And do they have TVs as well going on there?
I'm sure there's going to be a whole lot of other stuff that might distract you from the TVs.
There's Monday Night Football on. So you gotta.
You can sneak up to the Sens bar up top, I'm sure.
So the 20th will be there.
There's definitely one that lonely TV playing football in the back.
There we go.
Sorry,
Could I
what's
touch
the
this?
address of that? The Lower Town Brewery? Where is that exactly?
It's the old Hard Rock Cafe on York Street. I believe it's 71 York Street.
Okay. And the Sens Bar is upstairs of that?
Yes.
That's right.
Oh, okay. I remember seeing the sign for the Sens Bar, but I thought it would have been the whole thing. But
Totally
that's cool.
separate. They've divvied it up.
That's
There
good.
you go.
Right on.
All right, so we're here with Catherine Laska and, of course, Danielle Allard from Citizens Academy. So if you have not heard about Citizens Academy, it's an awesome program that I've actually taken a part of. So I can attest to the awesomeness of the Academy, but I want more people to learn about it. So I guess before we start, we always like to get to know our guests. So Catherine, how did you come to Ottawa? And maybe a favorite restaurant, maybe a favorite off the beaten track kind of thing.
Cow. I am born and raised in Orleans, so I'm kind of an Ottawan.
Close enough.
Close enough. Before amalgamation, we were considered our own part of our own city. But I've grown up in Ottawa. I went to school here, and I left and came back, and it took for me to leave Ottawa to really appreciate it, I think, to come back and fall in love again.
Where did you leave to?
I actually was in South America for a year and a half, and I studied in France for a year before that.
Oh, that's
so
fun.
I was just gallivanting the globe and came back and realized that Ottawa's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Favorite restaurant, I have to say Chez Lucien. I've lived in sort of in and out of the market, and that's always my go-to, and it's just good
Good
food.
burgers there,
If
yeah.
they had a patio, I'd basically probably be paying their rent. But so in the summer, it's a little bit less attractive, but the rest of the year, it's one of my favorite places to go.
Going into fall, so you might do. What about off the beaten track? Where is somewhere in Orleans that you think people don't know about? That's a cool place in Orleans.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna sell myself out, but I'm not actually gonna go with Orleans. I'm gonna say salsa Sundays. I dance salsa, and there's not much to do in Ottawa on Sunday nights, but there's salsa Sundays. It's called Raheem's. He's a big thing on Fridays, but on Sundays we go to Los Amigos bar out on Maryvale, and it looks like a dodgy bar, but I promise you, inside, in and amongst the pool tables, there's a whole bunch of people dancing salsa. And
Oh, that's cool.
How many people there?
on a good night, we have like 60 people.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so there's a lot, and every week there's always like several dozen people who have no idea what they're doing, and everyone's really friendly and willing to share and show you how to dance.
And teach
Boys
them.
and girls.
Where'd you pick up the salsa?
South America.
Oh, that makes
Should
sense.
happen.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, that's fun.
And Danielle, born and raised in Ottawa as well.
I was raised out in Carp,
Okay,
so
there you go.
West Ottawa. So I've got lots of roots in the West End, and I love it out there. My parents are still out there, continuously moving further, so now they're in Perth.
Perth, beautiful spot in Perth though too, right?
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So off the beaten path, I'd have to say things out in kind of the Carp area. The Cheshire Cat is a staple. And
The Carp Fair.
Carp Fair.
Pretty
Did you go
big.
this year?
No. It's one of those things that was so great and epic when you're a child, and I'm
Yeah.
scared to go back.
They usually get some pretty big musical performers.
Like April
don't they?
Wine? Or they all?
Yeah, I guess.
Yes, so I'm due to go back to Carp at some point.
Maybe you'll be headlining next year.
There we go.
One can only hope. All of the aspirations that I have in life, performing at Carp Fair is definitely one of them.
So do you go with Cheshire Cat as your favorite restaurant?
As off the beaten path that I like. Favorite restaurant in town, since I'm now living in town and it's glorious. I really like going to Das Locale.
Still
So
haven't
great.
been there, yes.
You need to go
It's
there.
fantastic.
The food is amazing.
Where's that?
It's just on Dalhousie.
Okay.
Outside of Dalhousie, closer to the end of Dalhousie.
For
Gotcha.
20 years before that, it was a Portuguese chicken restaurant. Casa do Churrasco. And before that, it was a KFC.
The old Portuguese chicken place.
Portuguese chicken.
There's now a fantastic German restaurant, and they have so much live music there. Sunday brunch, they had a bunch of friends of mine playing, and I discovered this exceptional piano player because they've got a piano that's set up 24/7 in the restaurant, and these guys just come in and they play all night, and it blows my mind. And so I stole one of them, so he's performing with me at Lower Town now.
No way.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Stole the person, not the piano.
Though the
Piano's
stealing
next.
the piano is tempting. It's a very nice piano.
Right on. So let's get into talking some Citizens Academy. First, I just want to let you know that at halftime of the show today, Jen from Foodie Prints will be coming on to talk about Beau's Oktoberfest, the Ottawa International Food and Drink Expo, and Smashing Pumpkins, not the band, at Cumberland Heritage Village Museum. So we'll look forward to that.
Oh, that sounds fun.
All right, so last night you hosted a chat. I think it was here. We're at the Hub, actually. This is our third interview here. Always love being here.
Yeah.
And you hosted City Makers, a Citizen Chat. Can you tell us a bit about what it was supposed to be about, and did it stick on track, and what did you learn from it, if you can remember it from us?
Such a crazy experience that I almost forgot. I'll actually even take a step back and say the Citizens Academy is actually, I really like when you opened up and said and Lunch Out Loud is about the people, places, and things that make Ottawa awesome. And that's where we're coming from. That's sort of the baseline of where we got started. It's like, Ottawa is awesome. Mm-hmm. And it's only getting better. And sometimes to make it better, people need a little bit more information. So that's kind of the premise we're coming from. And Citizens Academy is helping people connect with their city and how it works. Because that's sort of, if you want to change things, it helps to know where you're coming from and how things work before you change them. And sometimes those are people who've never connected with Ottawa. They're young, they're new to Ottawa, they've never engaged, or some people are jaded. Some people have done stuff and have kind of gotten over it and didn't want to get involved in the nitty-gritty anymore, and are kind of trying to find a way to get back into it. So we have all these people come in and do neat things with us. But last night, the City Makers was our first ever chat. It unfortunately was not at the Hub. It was at no, it's okay. In 1125, Carleton has an innovation lab that they have that sort of connects students with some things happening in the community. Mm-hmm. And so we were working in their space, and the whole idea was to get people talking about what is awesome about Ottawa and what there should be more of. And really from that positive perspective, not complaining and pointing fingers, but like, hey, like, what could there be more of? What needs to be changed? How do we go about improving it in a meaningful way? And sometimes it's just having a chat, because we're so busy in our day-to-day lives talking about everything else that's happening, even federal politics and everything in between, that sometimes it's just nice to be like, oh, hey neighbor, hey Ottawa friend, what are you passionate about? What's cool in your community and what could be better? And it was a really neat turnout of people from across the city that came out and talked about things that they liked about the city, and then things they'd like to see from a long-term vision perspective, because right now everyone's talking about the elections, which is great. They're all about the elections, but there is so much more to getting involved in your city than voting every 4 years. And that was really the conversation. Like, okay, yes, you can ask some questions of candidates. That's important too. We're totally supporting that as a first action. But then, what are you going to do November 1st? Once the elections have settled down, once everything's done, what are you going to do? What can we do? And how are we going to make sure that Ottawa is great in 2020, 2030, etc.
So what was, how many people came out to that?
We had 30, hopefully 35 people.
That's pretty good.
We had some troubles with traffic and parking.
Okay.
5:30 start time. In terms of things we learned, you mentioned what did we learn? We learned that
5:30 start time
is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
So
we want to fit as much talking as possible in, so you have to start at 5:30, because then after 8 it gets a little bit iffy with keeping people focused.
Well, so it went on for a good couple hours. 2.5 hours right on.
And people stayed. Everything we've ever done with CA, people don't leave. So if people don't leave, that's probably a good sign.
And what sort of age range of people were attending?
That was the best part. There was a 19-year-old Carleton student, and there was a 68-year-old retired federal public servant, and they were at the same table, and everything in between, and we were seeing a range of skin colors and hair colors and all that kind of stuff. Like, there was literally everybody represented in the room.
And there were so many people that were new to the Academy as well, and then they were just blown away by the fact that they were sitting next to this 19-year-old
that's
student.
Cool.
Wow. So it's really inspiring once you get in the room and you see it. And I would say what I considered the most successful was there's an exercise, and we try to make some kind of education part of everything that we do. So there's this exercise in the chat where you apply your issues of interest and you look at the term of council priorities. And so watching the whole room do that together and identifying what priorities were for councils, if there are issues that they'd identified at their tables lined up with that, and it just put a whole lot of stuff into perspective for everybody there. So that was really cool.
So what were some of the issues that people touched on last night?
Obviously, transportation is always a very big issue.
And you talk about Uber?
Oh my gosh, somebody did talk about Uber.
Yes.
There's 3 of the guys that came, and 3 of the younger generation people. There's some students from Ottawa U who came out, and I was like, well, you found it, how to get here on campus. And they're like, we took Uber. And
it's free.
And they did a little plug. Yeah, there's apparently like Uber just needed it was the start yesterday.
Yes.
10 rides under $20 or something, whatever.
What's this?